All right, what's up, everyone? Eastside Pastor here. Got another team to showcase in the Halloween Cup. This one featuring Runerigus, Galvantula, Charge-a-Bug. So it's a double electric team. And I used this team today, went positive with it in every set. Really enjoyed using it, had a lot of fun using it. It's an interesting team. I don't think I saw anyone else, I don't think I've seen anyone else run this team. Haven't seen a whole lot of Galvantula in the meta at all. There is a lot of Charge Bug, but haven't seen any Galvantula, and especially Energy Ball Galvantula. And the Energy Ball is key. It is to draw out the ground type. So it's an ABB team with Galvantula Safe Switch, usually. And the Galvantula's goal is to try to draw out a ground type and then hit it with a energy ball. And so able to flip switch in some matches like this, where the opponent brings in the Nidoqueen, right? A Shadow Nidoqueen, and I throw this energy ball. Does neutral damage because the ground poison type, but I'm able to get to another move here. And so I can get to this lunge as well. If they no shield it, I flip switch. If they shield it, then I can farm the thing down with Rune and take a debuffed Earth Power here. And so I wasn't able to flip switch around that time, but was able to get a shield back. And now I'm actually in a good position to win this game, going against a Pokemon that kind of core breaks the whole team, is Zweilous. So Zweilous or Guzzlord are very tough for this team, especially in the lead. If it's in the back and shields are down, you do have X Scissor and Lunge to do super effective bug type damage, which is what I'm throwing at the Zweilous now. The X Scissor is going to do a ton of damage to this thing. They're going to get to a Body Slam or a Dark Pulse to knock me out, and then I can bring my Rune back in and go for the Sand Tomb, which should be enough to KO. So Galvantula did do a good job of drawing out the ground type there, hitting it with a lot of damage from Energy Ball. Wasn't able to quite flip switch, but as we'll see in another games, able to flip switch around in some other situations. And so anyway, the basic way that this team works is you have Rune lead, which you're going to be weak to flyers, right? You're a ground type. And so like something like a Mandibuzz in the lead is going to be very tough. And so you have two flyer answers in the back with your double electric. And Galvantula being the safe switch, you can get to that energy ball against something like an opposing Rune or Palisand or Golurk or Nidoqueen or even a Carbink. Energy Ball is going to do a lot of damage to the Carbink, actually. And so Galvantula can draw that Carbink out, nuke it with an energy ball, and then Rune can farm the thing down or knock it out with a shadow ball, and your Charge-a-Bug is free from their ground type or their Carbink. So that's the general idea of how the team works. Like I said earlier, a lot of success with this team. Played against a lot of different teams. This is all in like the 3,000 to 3,100 ELO range. So this is legend rank battles here, playing against skilled opponents. So let's dive into this battle. This is a Toxicroak in the lead. My whole team has play against this Toxicroak. But a lot of Toxicroaks in the lead, there's going to be a Carbink in the back. And so their goal is actually just to stay in because they think, hey, this Rune is like, you know, the biggest counter to their Carbink. And so they just stay in. They're trying to get rid of the Rune to free up their Carbink. And so I just go for the Shadow Ball, thinking that they're just going to let it go, expecting the Sand Tomb. And they do. Toxie goes down. Greninja comes in. We swap to Galvantula, and here's the Carbink. So we're able to land the Energy Ball. And then they throw a Rock Slide to knock us out, but have already gotten a lot of damage on this thing. And I can go for a Sand Tomb here and then go for like a Farm Down for the rest of the damage. And I know that this is just a Rock Slide, so I'm not going to shield it. They weren't quite going to make it to a Moonblast. And so now I can throw this Sand Tomb here, debuff the Greninja, and bring in my Charge-a-Bug. Oh, I'm going to double debuff it. I had two Sand Tombs. So I'm going to double debuff it, which means my Volt Switches from Charge-a-Bug are going to do crazy amount of damage. So I let one move go. I can do another Volt Switch, shield the next move, one more Volt Switch, and the thing's knocked out. So the team worked pretty well here. Even though they had a Carbink in the back and I have double bugs in the back, being able to draw the Carbink out with Galvantula and then hit it with the energy ball worked out well. This time it's a Carbink in the lead, and so Rune's a really great counter, so they swap to their safe swap, which is Golbat. And I actually miscounted here. I did not realize they were out of Shadow Ball. I just wasn't paying attention. And so, yeah, they landed a Shadow Ball on me and were able to win switch here. And so now they can put their Carbink on my Charjabug, which is really bad. So that was a mistake on my part, but we're going to try to turn it around. We throw a Discharge here and then swap to Rune. And because I'm up a shield against this Jellicent, I can just go for double Shadow Balls here. And they let the first one go, maybe expecting a bait, and I get the farm down, and now I can just start debuffing this thing with super effective Sand Tombs, and this is going to be a win for us. We're up a shield, and they're just throwing not very effective moves with their rock throws, and they need to build up to, they would need to get to like 3 Moon Blasts, so GG. Next game, we see a terrible lead. It's a Mandibuzz versus a Rune. So, you know, they resist everything that we have. We swap to our Galvantula, and they go for a Poison Fang. I let it go because they're debuffed. They're single debuffed, and I survive with 1 HP to get off this Energy Ball. They're not expecting an Energy Ball. They let it go, and it knocks them out. And so my Galv, my electric type, was able to flip switch against a Nidoqueen by landing 1 lunge, surviving the Poison Fang, and then getting off the Energy Ball. So this is why Galv with this moveset is awesome. Really enjoyed using it. People do not expect the Energy Ball, and you can flip around matches like that. So now they got this Scizor in the back. I go for the Shadow Ball, and they let it go, and at this point there's nothing they can do. I can debuff them with Sand Tomb, and then basically just Volt Switch them down with Charjabug. But they decide to stay in, so there's no top left coming, so I'm just going to keep chunking some damage away. I go for a Shadow Ball here. They're wanting to save their shields for the Charjabug, right? But all I do is get this 1 Volt Switch through, and because they're debuffed, it's going to knock them out. So GG, they reverse 2 shield flex, right? They didn't use any shields and lost. So unfortunate for them, but on to the next battle. It's Coffin versus Coffin, right? And I go for the bait move here. They shield it, so that puts us at a good spot to bring in a Charjabug here. I didn't want to bring in Galvantula. Usually Galv is the safe swap, but Galv is just much glassier than Charjabug, and they had a lot of energy. And so I knew I could no-shield something with Charjabug, but I was not going to be able to no-shield something with Galv. So a Shadow Ball would do way too much damage. So anyway, that's why I brought in Charjabug here. Galv is usually the safe swap, but there's some situations where you want to swap in something that can tank a move, and Charjabug is pretty bulky. So that's why I did that swap there. And now at this point, I just go for the Shadow Ball. A lot of the time, I think people just let the move go because they're expecting to survive a Sand Tomb. Then I actually go for the Sand Tomb here, and they shield it, and I bring in my other electric type, and it's game over. They were debuffed without any shields left, so another GG. We'll go into the next battle, and this is a Charjabug lead. This is good. You know, we're ground type, so we're resisting the Volt Switches, and I can just stay in for a little bit. I probably didn't need to do this, but I went for a little bit of damage and debuff by throwing the Sand Tomb, but I probably could have just swapped straight to my Charjabug. Charjabug just wins this matchup pretty easily in even shields. Yeah, I was able to do it with 1 Volt Switch advantage so that I can beat them to X Scissors, and I actually get to the next one, but we CMP tie and I lose. My Charjabug's a rank 1 Charjabug, so 0 attack. So, you know, any other opposing Charjabug that has at least 1 attack, we're always going to lose CMP. But, you know, we gain that extra bulk and stat product that you get from being the rank 1. So, yeah, they had a Greninja in the back. We debuff it with a Sand Tomb, and then the Volt Switches can just knock the thing out from there. So the Greninja's down, and I can start lunging this Charjabug. Galv's going to win CMP versus the Charjabug, and so even though they double shield this, I can live a double debuffed X Scissor, and then I'll win CMP on my lunge here. So they built to 2 moves, went back to back, but yeah, Galv wins CMP, so we take the battle. Another GG. Just really loved using this team. Very, very fun to use with the energy ball on Galv. People didn't expect it. Able to flip switch in some interesting situations that you'd typically think were just unwinnable. And yeah, unique. Didn't see anyone else running it. Sand Tomb makes a great bait move. You have it's a debuffing move as well as having lunge for debuffing the opponent as well. So you can make some interesting combo plays. I plan on running this team again tomorrow on stream. So anyway, let me know what you think. If you guys want to try it, share in the comments what you think about the team. Y'all be blessed.